So, I'm back, and I figure this time I'll do a video. I haven't done anything in a while. I got to do something different to kick it off. So, this is Unstoppable, and I'm Bill Unstoppa. And so, I'm gonna read some news stories, and everybody's talking about the Boulder, Colorado shooting, and that's a horrible, horrible thing that happened. Like all the shootings are horrible, like all of them, like you know, except for the ones where we shoot rapists. I'm cool with that. Like some people deserve to be shot. Like fuck it, hands down, shoot some people, but only in self-defense and when it's immediately a threat, right? So like, don't go out and be a vigilante and hunt people down. Do not do that, because you'll go to prison. The government frowns on competition. And also, you might get it wrong and shoot someone innocent, and then you're a fucking bad guy. And fuck you. You deserve to be shot for being a bad guy. Okay, so I talked myself full circle there, but we're going to go on with that. We're just going to move on and drink a beer, and we're going to talk about this shooter here. I don't want to say his name because two reasons. I don't want to give him any extra notoriety, and I'll probably butcher it, and then I'll be racist because I didn't say his name right. But maybe he's white. He's morally white. So now I can criticize him morally for shooting people, because when you shoot people in cold blood, you're now morally white apparently, because being white is now an immoral state of being. Is that what we're supposed to take away from this? Is that what CNN is saying? That whiteness is a moral imperfection? Maybe it's just a state of immoral being, and like you might as well be a pedophile. I don't fucking know what to make from that. It seems pretty goddamn racist. Now, I'm looking for that actual statement because it was like a Facebook meme going around, so maybe somebody photoshopped that shit and it's all bullshit. So, I'm not trying to spread a bunch of false information, whatever. Anyhow, what we do know, and I'm reading this from CNN, what I have seen them say is that, like, hey, all the others, this guy was prone to outrage, right? He's prone to fits and outbursts of rage and, temper tantrums, if you will, adult temper tantrums, which are pretty goddamn scary when they come from a grown man. And family suspects he was mentally ill. Imagine that. Like, somebody has to be mentally ill to go out and shoot a bunch of fucking strangers in cold blood. Yeah, that's pretty mentally ill. I mean, but, we shoot rabid dogs. We put rabid dogs down, so whatever. Man, it's such a tough spot to say, to put something in there like that. But some things are just so broken that maybe they're not worth the time trying to fix. Maybe there's some backwards working that should be done to fix them up. Not fix them up, but to learn from it, right? Not a dissection, but a psychological dissection. I don't know what to call it. Not an autopsy, because you can't do a psychological autopsy. I don't think you can. I don't know. Maybe there's a field of psychology there. It's like a forensic psychology. I think that's actually a thing. Shit, I don't know. I'm gonna leave that to the smarty pants out there to tell me about. Let's see what else is in news. Anyhow, it's just another one of those testaments of how in America and a lot of the world, like, we don't pay any attention to mental illness, and we stigmatize it. It's like, hey, your hardware is fucked up in your head. That's an organ, right? And I know it runs software, but you can't think yourself healthy from liver cancer. You can't think yourself healthy from fucking diabetes. You're not going to think your brain healthy when it's fucked up. Now, there's some nuance that needs to be, allowed for there, in that, okay, some things like certain, I don't want to say traumas, because trauma's like a real thing, right? I mean, psychological trauma should be a real thing, because like physical trauma, right? Like, you fall down or you get in a car wreck and break your knee, and then you have surgery and they try to fix it and blah blah blah. Like, there's damage there. Like, you can't just be like, hey, run fucking harder, bro. Like, why you gimping? Why you limping, dude? Just run. Get your shit together. You're being a pussy. Oh yeah, you can't just will yourself through that broken knee. I don't know. Like, I don't know what kind of surgery they do for broken legs. It doesn't do right. Like, I don't know, torn ACL. Shit. You get the point. So anyhow, moving forward, right? We should probably be a little bit less shitty towards people with mental illnesses and quit making them feel like they gotta hide that shit. And like when somebody expresses it, like maybe it should be okay to be like, hey, maybe you should talk to someone. Maybe you should go get that crazy fucking brain of yours checked out because you're scaring the shit out of me. Probably don't say it like that. Like, do not take tact and personal engagement advice from me because I will. You will lose friends. You will lose friends, maybe get fired. Don't ever listen to me. I mean, listen to me, but do what I suggest. Don't do it like I say to do it because I'll just fuck it up. That's why I'm on here not being a life coach. I'm on here, you know, being an idiot with an opinion on anything. So, Yahoo News. Let's see what that's got to go. Sorry, I know whistling's rude. Like, right? You've probably just clicked off, shut this shit off, and you're unsubscribed. Probably writing my mother dirty letters right now about how she should have swallowed. And I wrote her the same letter. Actually, it was a Mother's Day card. She didn't appreciate it. Not at all, you know? Whatever. So, okay, let's see. Beauty store owner left beaten and needing surgery after attack. Ooh, Harris County. Hey, I live in Harris County. Don't stalk me, okay? I know I'm gorgeous. Don't stalk me. The hell is this? Let's see. Beauty store owner was attacked inside her store by 2 women in Harris County. Kim Jong of Korea is asked the 5 women who knocked her over in the store display. However, 2 of the women doubled back and caused further destruction, surveillance, shouting racial slurs and insults. Let's see. So Lee, you know, like that's the thing. Like ever since that other shooter. Oh man, was that? Where was the Asian parlor shooter going? I don't remember where it was at. Okay, so forgive me. But you know that was one of those things that they tried to drop as white supremacy and like a hate crime, which, you know, you got to hate people to go and want to shoot them at random or just shoot them in cold blood at all, even if it's not random, right? Like you got to hate somebody. You got to have a lot of hate in there to want to do that. But that dude was having some puritanical issues, right? And a puritanical ideology is toxic. I know that sounds oxymoronic. It sounds contradictory. That how can it be pure if it's toxic? Well, you know, like too much water purifies you. You get water toxicity, you die, right? So like you can be pure and toxic. And if you try to be too pure, you become toxic, right? That's how that shit works. So when you try to be too pure, you become ideological, right? An ideologue. You get too wrapped up in a concept, an idea, and you take it to an extreme. Like this guy, he believed that he had a sex addiction, and maybe he really did. Maybe he had a real sex addiction and he couldn't get over it. But instead of turning it on himself, he turned it outward. He blamed the world for leaving him too many opportunities. And, you know, that holds about as much cred as, you know, a rapist blaming a chick for wearing a short skirt and saying, oh, no, you know, there's too much temptation in the world, and, you know, the world needs to address itself for its imperfections and not me. Like, no. You're the fucked up unit, and you're the one that needs to fix yourself. The world does not need to cater itself to make it more suitable to your existence. I mean, it's a big ass place. You know, it's like jumping in the ocean and demanding the whales start to speak English. And it's the whale's fucking ocean. Fuck you, buddy. Learn to speak beluga or, you know, whatever whale you're talking to. I don't know if the whales have different languages. I imagine they do, and probably different accents, because cows have different accents too. I don't know if you know that cows have different accents, but it's a true thing. The cows in Colorado don't moo the same as the cows in California. And they probably both hate each other because, you know, those cows in California are inferior bovines and they don't come from the pure, gracious country of Texas. You thought I was going to say Colorado. But shit, no, those cows in Colorado suck too. Fuck you, Colorado cows. All right. So, yeah, man. Lady got jumped in her own store, and Over what? Oh, geez. You know, the whole white supremacy thing. And, nope. Fortunately, it wasn't white women you can blame on that attack. I won't say who it was. Y'all guys can look up the story yourself. But, you know, most of the shit, it's never the way the news reports it. But it was catchy, you know? It's like, hey, look, here's an instance of some racial stuff against Asians. And, like, you know, I don't know if you ever bothered to go through and look. And I don't know why you would. But I'm a curious type, morbidly curious sometimes. You know, I was looking into, you know, the alt-right fuckers a while back, a few years ago. And they really like the Asians. It's weird. Like, I guess because the Asians do so well, and one of the things that they really like to do is, you know, put that biological angle on things, and then they had the cultural Marxism, which was this idea that, you know, cultures. It was an idea that they believed was being put forth that cultures, that the leftists, right, like the cultural Marxists, were trying to say that all cultures were inherently the same, and that they would never ever end up the same thing, right? Or they would never ever come out with any sort of different results. And like, it was a complete straw man. Like, I never heard anybody actually say that shit. So, and what it was is a lie, a false narrative that it was, you know, Western culture alone that, you know, led to the greatest advances in the world, and that anybody who questioned that or debated that was a cultural Marxist, and they were just being dishonest to, you know, Western values and white values, you know, because, like, they're just as guilty. They're just as guilty as, you know, assuming whiteness is a culture. Equally reprehensible in the opposite direction. Like, so, you know, two things can be simultaneously true, yet have completely different implications, and yet not contradict each other. Just like the alt-right can be all on about, you know, cultural Marxism, and when I say all on, that they're fucking wrong, but they're simultaneously just as wrong as people on the far left of shit trying to say that, you know, whiteness is a toxic culture. They think that whiteness is like a supreme, superior culture, and the others think that whiteness is like, being white's fucking being white. Like, America is America, and people in America, they're gonna do American shit, like, right? And America is like a big mixing pot of a lot of different people with a lot of different cultures. Like, shit, the people in California that are white don't have the same culture as the people in goddamn Nevada that are white. Get the fuck out of here with that. So anyhow, that's why they're wrong, and you're wrong if you agree with either of them. So, well, you know what? I'm just going to wrap it up with that. I don't know how to be any funnier. Not going to try to. So, guys, let's be nice to each other. You know somebody with a mental illness, or think they do. Like, I don't know, find somebody who's good at talking about that shit and talk to them about it. Don't talk to me about it, because I don't want to hear your problems. I got other shit to do, like putting out forest fires.